tore his ACL yesterday, just less than an hour into his first rookie minicamp. The team announced after playing every game at 3 years at Florida, he will now miss the entire 2015 season for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it sucks. I mean, you don't want this happening to anybody, but especially Dante Fowler. I mean, this guy, if you watch the interviews with him, he's a good guy, and it sucks. And he was supposed to, obviously being the number 3 overall pick, you got to make that immediate impact, and he was going to do that. But hopefully, this just makes him stronger, both in the inside and out, mentally and physically. They said that the defensive end's left knee buckled on an 11-11 drill. He dropped to the ground, grabbed his leg, rolled side to side, and eventually got helped off the field. He was able to put some weight on the leg, but was later carted to the locker room for test. Fowler had not yet signed his rookie contract, and I still don't think he has just yet. His deal is expected to be worth about $23 million, fully guaranteed over 4 years with a 5th-year team option. But since he did not sign yet, there is a thing saying that unsigned draft choices participating in minicamp sign an injury protection waiver. If there's any injury, the team will continue to negotiate in good faith as if the player were not injured. And usually that's for those late draft rounds picks, someone like that. Obviously, they're still going to sign him to a great deal, or at least a good deal. Might not be the $21 million fully guaranteed. It might drop off a little bit because if this, obviously we've seen those success stories with ACL tears and they come back great year or solid year. That's great, but there's some that don't come back the same. This is Fowler's biggest injury he's had, at least from, since he's been at Florida and to now. So, you don't know how he's going to come back. Now, that's not fair. It says in good faith, as if the player were not injured, you're still supposed to sign this guy. It might drop a little bit in cash, but what's the difference between $16 million and $23 million? You could still get a pretty nice house and be, fully protected from, other life things. But Fowler took to Twitter to thank fans for the support and vowed to come back saying, quote, "Hey, everybody, I will be fine. Thank you for your prayers and encouragement. I really appreciate that. This gives me time to get my body bigger and stronger, and I will be back better than ever." Awesome. And I hope he really is. We'll just have to see. But, man, I saw that. I was scrolling through Twitter, and, of course, I had to see it, and I thought it was a freaking prank, but nope. It was for real. And something else that is pretty for real is NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said he will suspend Patriots quarterback Tom Brady, with the announcement coming later this week, according to a report from the New York Daily News. And though the report states Brady's expected to receive a suspension, the length of the games have not yet been determined. And this is where it gets crazy. Stay with me here, folks. Earlier Friday, CSN New England reported that the Patriots fear the NFL will suspend Brady for 6 to 8 games. But then the Daily News, the New York Daily News, in its report speculates Brady could receive just a 2-game suspension. Then, of course, Miami Herald had to jump in and said that Brady could be suspended for up to the entire year. We don't know. We'll find out later this week, but we do not know. It could be 2 games. It could be 4. It could be 6. It could be 8. It could be the entire 2015-16 season. We do not know. In the meantime, what we do know is what the NFL is looking at. An NFL source told the Miami Herald that everything is being studied and everything is being considered. Now, that doesn't mean that Brady will be suspended for the year, but it does mean the NFL is at least considering it. There is that. Brady's punishment could end up being a shorter suspension, but the source told Herald not to dismiss the possibility of a year-long suspension. Now, the recent Ted Wells investigation determined that it is more probable than not that Tom Brady was at least generally aware that the Patriots were purposely deflating footballs below the league's minimum requirement in the AFC Championship game against the Indianapolis Colts. Also in the report, Wells noted that Brady refused to turn over his cell phone and other personal information for investigation purposes. Brady's refusal to help the investigation could end up being one of the biggest reasons he's hit with 6 to a year-long game suspension. And also, it was duly noted that he was not going to turn anything over to them and say anything, because it says this, quote, Brady's refusal to provide us with his own emails, text messages, and phone records on our relevant, geez, I cannot talk this morning, topics in response to our narrowly tailored request limited the evidence available for our review and analysis. And according to ESPN, the NFL will respond to the Wells report in a matter of days as opposed to a matter of weeks. So again, we don't know. We should find out. I'm thinking probably a Tuesday, Wednesday type of thing. That's just a throwing in the dark. I don't know. But it's anything. 2 games, 4 games, 8 games, 6 games, 8 games to an entire year. Personally, I think 4. I think that's right there. Because if you take Brady out for more than 4 games, oh man, I don't know. NFL world might go a little crazy. Now, obviously, there's either Brady lovers or haters, and I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what their decision ends up being. I think 4. I think 4 games. At most 6, but we'll see. Deshaun Jackson was asked to weigh in on LaShawn McCoy's comments about Chip Kelly getting rid of, quote, all the good black players on the Eagles roster. Excuse me. Deshaun Jackson passed on that question, but Jackson did have something interesting to say about leaving the Eagles. When he was on SportsCenter, said that he and McCoy had moved on from Philadelphia and joined better teams in Washington and Buffalo. This is what he had to say, quote, honestly, I'm further along than that. It's been just 2 years since I've been removed from the Philadelphia Eagles. Notice how he said I've been removed. I'm just excited and happy where I'm at. I don't really want to get too caught up in what's going on over there in Philadelphia. LaShawn McCoy is one of my great friends, and he's a great running back. He's one of the best in the league, and I look at myself as one of the best receivers in the league. So as far as being removed from there, I can't understand why you would want to get rid of your best players on the team. But it's their loss. Moving forward, the teams we're with now is the teams that's winning. A teams that's gaining more of respect and having them type of guys on the team. Now, when you hear all of that, you think, okay, he just said that himself and Deshaun Jackson and LaShawn McCoy are on teams that are winning. I'm not an Eagles fan, so I'm not defending the Eagles for getting rid of him. I think it was stupid for Chip Kelly and the Philadelphia Eagles front office to get rid of both LaShawn McCoy and Deshaun Jackson. But Eagles went 10-6 last year. Washington went 4-12. And Buffalo hasn't won 10 games since 1999. That's not exactly winning. Now, we've yet to see what the Bills will do with LaShawn McCoy in his first year. We'll just have to see. But, maybe should have chose something else other than winning. I like the part about gaining more respect. That is a lot better. That makes you look better than the Eagles, because right now no one really knows what to think about the Philadelphia Eagles and their roster turnover that they've been having. But winning is definitely not on your side right now. 4-12 compared to 10-6. There's about a 6-game difference. Just saying. So we'll just have to see. But yeah, the Eagles, their roster thing, I don't know. Chip Kelly, it's like at first, all right, he had a pretty smart visions about having his system going to the NFL, and it looked like it was working. And now he's getting rid of players that seem like it would work perfect for them. I think LaShawn McCoy's agility, his speed, the type of player, how he runs, would be perfect for that type of fast, offense. And then especially when you think of fast, you think of Deshaun Jackson, why not keep him? I understand his money was a reason, but I don't know. Nelson Aguilar for your first-round draft pick. He's a great wide receiver, no doubt about it, but he's a possession guy. I mean, not to say he doesn't have any speed, but I don't know. All right, but that's about it. Here is the interview with a former TCU wide receiver. I was given the privilege to talk to him right after he was signed with the Miami Dolphins, a huge thing for him, and as he's actually already in minicamp. So this interview was taking place on Wednesday. So it is now here, so you guys can listen to it. I also have a video up on YouTube of just the entire interview if you want to listen to that. It'll also be on iTunes by itself in case you want to download that. But as always, guys, God first, God bless. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at @short_sports 24/7. And links down below to Facebook, everything else. I'll see you guys next Saturday morning. As always, God first, God bless. And here is the interview with David Porter, new Miami Dolphins wide receiver. What's going on, guys? As I said earlier in the show, we have David Porter, newly signed wide receiver with the Miami Dolphins. And David, thank you for coming on to the show.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Just for quick information on David Porter, he played at TCU. And he played all 4 years at TCU, appeared in 13 games, and had 392 receiving yards with 3 touchdown grabs, and also tossed a 55-yard touchdown pass to Trevon Boykin in the final game at Avon G. Carter Stadium against Iowa State. David, first of all, congratulations getting signed with the Miami Dolphins. How do you feel about that?
I feel really excited. I mean, I'm ready to get out there. I fly out there, next couple of days, and I'm just excited.
Right. So, who gave you the call that said that the Dolphins wanted to sign you, and were there any other teams?
What? Say that again.
Who gave you the call with the Dolphins? Letting you know they were offering you.
Well, they called my agent, and then my agent told me, and then they called. I can't remember who it was that called me, but they called me and said, "We want to bring you out here," and they set me up with my flight. In 30 minutes, as soon as the last pick of the draft was made, they called me 30 minutes later to set all that up.
And what are some things that people that don't know about you that should? What type of athlete you are?
I mean, I'm a very humble guy. I work hard, on and off the field. And I'm really a team player. My best interest is always in the team. I want to make sure everyone else on the team, we're all doing it, not just me. I'm not a selfish guy.
Right. And what are Dolphins getting out of you as a receiver on the field?
Say that again?
What are the Dolphins getting out of you as a receiver on the field?
I mean, they're going to get a guy that's going to go hard every play. Someone that's going to go out there and give him the best shot. I'm going to give my best shot every time I step on the field, and I'm going to go hard until I can't anymore. And I mean, they're going to have a smart receiver as well, because that's one thing I would say that kind of sets me apart. Is I'm kind of smart on the field. I might not be as fast as everybody or as strong as everybody, but I'm going to try to outsmart you.
Right. And now through your last 2 seasons at TCU, you've been through some different offensive coordinators. How was it transitioning to that more spread offense? More throwing. How was that like?
Well, for me, it wasn't much of a transition, because that's what I was playing throughout high school. I was in an air raid offense at high school. So I mean, we would no huddle, up tempo. We run about 90 plays a game. So that was something I was pretty used to.
Right, and Gary Patterson. People talk about Gary Patterson as a defensive coach, but how did he prepare you for taking the next step and talking, with you throughout your process at being at TCU?
Say that again. You said how did Coach B help me with what?
How did he, just not mature you, but just how did he prepare you throughout your final year at TCU and taking that next step now to the NFL?
I mean, he was just always there to just, give me great advice on, what I should do, who I should talk to. When agents came through, he knew of agents that had previously been there, and he kind of helped me decide on, who I should kind of choose, fine with. And, he was always there to just give great advice. about life, really, not even just all about football.
Right, and now